motivation is there in anything what you do.
It will be there.
But one motivation depends upon the result, outcome. You are
Right.
doing something to get something.
Right.
Other motivation, you are already there. You are just doing.
Motivation
Just
of...
you are doing because you feel like.
You got to listen to her.
I'm
missing that.
See, 8:30 to 9,
Yeah.
she teaches him, and then 9 o'clock they come here. That's it. All right. I was just few more minutes, all right?
Yeah,
since
go
it's
ahead, go ahead.
since it's a very interesting discussion. So what I'm saying is, we don't have faith in the consciousness, and that's where the problem is.
Right.
The faith in consciousness will start with understanding and realizing the existence of it. We act in this world with the help of consciousness, with the life force that we have, but we never accept even the existence of it. Is the God there? Even the sentence you spoke cannot finish without God being there. The consciousness, the life force that we have. But until we realize that okay, it even exists, forget about the potential and the strength of it and what it's doing for us, realize the multiple potentials and infinite potential. We cannot even comprehend infinite because we live in such a finite world. So the first baby step has to be the realization that it's there. And you cannot even do that until you start meditating, attending the retreats, and where you feel that it's there. We all felt, but we never sign up for retreats again. We never go anywhere. And I'm not being an agent for Vijay, but that's the only way to do it. That we realize that a different state of existence. And then we can take a step further into spirituality. Because now there are other ways to realize. I was reading, and it's beautiful, that how much potential the consciousness has. There was in the latest issue of Discover magazine, they're talking about the color vision that we have. The color vision that we have is produced by 3 cones. Cones are the cone-shaped cells that exist in our retina, right? Each cone is capable of discerning about 100 shades. One is for red, one is for yellow, one is for green. And there's a combination. Now, red and yellow combines to produce things like that, permutation combination. So imagine the potential though. It's very interesting. 100 colors perceived by 1 cone. Multiply with 2 coned animals. Most of the animals have 2 cones. So multiply 100 to 100 is 10,000, right? So most of the animals can perceive about 10,000 colors. But as a human being, we have a 3rd cone. So our world expands into 1 million different shades of colors that we are capable of discerning. Now, we don't know that. You go into a Home Depot or the painting stores, and how many swatches of colors you see? 500, maybe 1,000, maybe 2,000. But that's about it. That's how we can do. But potentially, scientifically, we are able to differentiate 1 million colors. But that's not where the story ends. There was a scientist who was studying the colorblind people, right? So colorblind have 1 cone dysfunctional. So they have to rely on only 2 cones. So they cannot differentiate between red and green light. So they have to make up for that. So they have to be trained to see the green light. So the colorblind people have to be trained. So there are some people who are totally colorblind, but then this scientist studied their offsprings, their children, whether they had color blindness or not. And they didn't. They passed with flying colors. But in the certain experiment they did, that one of the girls of the colorblind father needed more red to realize the ultimate green of that green color. So then he started making him think that that expression of different cones is not just 100%, 100%. It could be 89% in someone and could be 110% in someone. So even though that this girl had the 3rd cone, it required a different mixture of the other 2 cones to reach to the same levels. So then it made him postulate a theory that there may be a 4th cone that may be dysfunctional. And he started looking, so this far they were called trichromates. Chroma is the color. So he's looking for the tetrachromate person. And he kept on looking and looking and looking. Finally, he found a lady who had a tetrachromate pictures in her retina. Now, imagine the potential. 3 were 100 million, million colors, multiplied by 100. 100 million different colors of perception was possible. Whether this lady realized or not, that's not the point. They confirmed it with the scientific experiments that this lady had a potential to differentiate 100 different million colors.
Wow.
Imagine the potentiality. It exists. Now, the world that is made in front of her requires maybe million colors. But if she's living in that world, she even may not know that she has that potential of ability to differentiate 100 million different shades of colors, right? Until she's challenged, and they did challenge her, and she could. She could tell the different shades of 100 different shades of red that were given to her, but a normal person could say, they're all red. And even in a normal life. So one time, people says, oh, the blue. I said, that's not blue. That's green. Oh, whatever. Like that. My wife is the same way. She says, oh, that blue, give me that blue. I said, no, that's not blue. That's like greenish blue. Whatever, it's blue. Like that. So even in day-to-day life also it comes up. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is only to show the potential of the consciousness that is. Imagine the permutation. God placed the dice in permutation combination. There is a multiplication of so many different genes, interactions, and all these things to create where we are. And it's going to keep on creating. And we don't have faith in consciousness.
Tell them about the Ajit Chandra Maharaj.
Yeah. Shatabdan. So that video, I think Pradeep Bhai has sent it to everybody, right?
Not to everybody.
Not? Okay. Maybe I'll forward it to. There's a Jain Muni. He's 22-year-old. And he just showed
April.
March or April, yeah.
April.
He showed the actual demonstration. It's about 2 hours video on a YouTube. And he showed the ability to do 200 different things at one time. There was a big audience, almost 3,000 people. And they were made to choose different things. First was like 1 to 30 was different names. Questions. That what is the answer to this question? And then there was different personalities. And then there were different places to visit. And then you are allowed to speak a sentence of different language, any language from the world. And then millions of things. Random things, right? And then there was the bell going on and the music, loud music going on. While it's going on, they would touch his back and he's supposed to remember at what number of bell, like they were ringing the bell, 8th or 9th or whatever, that they touched him. And it's not one time, multiple times. And he has to remember. And then they will give you a one fixed number of, say, 125. Then he has to create a diagram or hexagram with 4 figures on the top, 4 at the bottom, 4 in the horizontal, and whichever you calculate will end up as 125. And not just one of the puzzles like that, about 8 or 10 different puzzles like that. Plus there was a table with multiple objects. They will remove and put it back in 1 second. And then he has to remember every single thing. So the whole thing goes on for almost an hour, hour and a half. And then his response starts. He starts from question number 1. 200 things were, in between people will come and show their wallet or whatever item, dollar bill or whatever may be. They will show these things and then walk away. He's supposed to remember all those 150 things or whatever. Total, it comes out, right? So then they will show the pictures of different personality, pictures of different major sites or buildings. So then his turn starts. He starts from question number 1. He answers. He said, this was the question. He keeps on going all the way to the 200 item he finishes.
Wow.
Continuously, and has no pen and paper. He says, okay, this and then. And so how much the mind is capable of doing things, and we don't have faith in consciousness. So much for today.
Jai Gurudev.